All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chubs and chubettes. If you need to know what that is, I can't help you. It is Thursday night. It is 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to pray for California. Like, it's on fire. Like, the whole state is on fucking fire. But let's pray for the people out in California. A friend of mine who lives out there, he had to leave. He went to Las Vegas. He jumped in his car, hit his Eagle, and he flew to Las Vegas. He's done. So he's leaving Cali. He just says it's pathetic out there. Isn't it something else that a city called Paradise burns to the ground? But shout out to everybody out there. Certainly hope it gets better. Hold on. Starting to lose my voice. This is terrible. Oh my God. What am I going to do? Hold on. Let's see here. Well, what H&R Block won't do, a cement block will. I had to just pop this little shot of Kentucky, some of the old Kentucky into my drink. That's better. A little bit better. A little bit more. Here we go. Yes. All right. Here we go. PORCHLyTe podcast. I certainly hope everybody had a good day and evening. For a lot has happened on, as the millennials say, the YouTube streets. Even though YouTube ain't got no streets, leave it to a bunch of millennials to say that it does. Okay. So what has happened today? Shout out to PorterRock77. He's under attack by the Xbox community as they are trying to take his channel down. For what? Kicking them in the balls every time they try to lie about something. Look, I said on this channel, and I said on other people's channels before, all this Jack Reacher bullshit that you cats were doing, it was over. A legion of people were waiting to come out of the bushes and cut your throats. And that's what's happened. I mean, look, did anybody else wake up yesterday and realize Xbox is not going to put games on every console? They're doing it. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they put more PC games out with their new studios than they do console games. Because there's like 200 million people on PC or whatever the ridiculous number is. You know, and if you're not thinking about PC gaming, people, you need to really, really start looking into it. I mean, there are going to be some bangers coming out on that PC. So, I mean, some bangers. So let's get into the news. First of all, Fallout 76 is garbage. Garbage. I mean, it is so bad. It is so bad. It literally is a beta for their new game that they're working on called Starfield. Now, I still plan on getting Fallout 76 because what else am I going to play, right? Nobody on the Xbox wants to play with me. So I've got to get games like Fallout 76. And maybe I'll run into somebody. But I want to kill some Deathclaws. I know what you're thinking, Craig. You can play Fallout 3. You're right. And I may just do that too. So again, my mixer is Situated Spoon Mixer, Craig Harris 88, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Just come join me on Mixer, probably after this podcast. So, which I'm telling you guys, I'm going to roll on through this really quick because I had to work today and there was some sipping going on at work, but there always is. I get home, I check my email, I check my Twitter feed, 64 notifications, and a bunch of fruit booty moist simps going back and forth over what? There's really nothing going on here today, folks. First things first, I need to say a shout out to everybody in the chat. There's like 20 of you all in here. So shout out to Sick Humor, King Thrash, Royal Flush Gaming. Got to get Royal Flush on the game. Just to hear him say cuz, like, I ain't heard, he still says cuz. That I have not heard cuz used since like the 80s. But the fact that that word is coming back, I love it. We gotta get him on. Shout out to Vieira Tron. Check out her podcast. I may try to do another UFO podcast tomorrow night. I got some more information, some more disclosure stuff. May go ahead and walk people through that movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. May not. I don't know. Depending on my voice, which is really starting to act up. So hold on. Time for a shot of the old Kentucky. Oh, yeah. Woo. All right. So, but I want to see. So shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to Lincoln Clay, everybody. Game Over HD, Ian, the Scottish Savage, even though he thinks Venom was a good movie and it was garbage. It was garbage, trash. Again, shout out to Sick Humor, even though he doesn't understand the Infinity War movie. Big shout out to Sick Humor. So he enjoyed it, he said. He thought it was garbage, but he's wrong. $2 billion says you're wrong. So this like somebody said $800 million says you're wrong about Venom. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So why is Porter Rock's channel being attacked? Because the Xbox community has nowhere else to go. Where else are they going to go? Where are they going to take it? You know, they're already taking it in the shorts. Can't take it there no more. So, but when you are constantly lying, the hell is this thing going to? I don't care about TripAdvisor. Okay. When you are constantly lying, and then there's somebody there to call out the bullshit, you're going to get mad. I mean, I get mad too. I'm trying to lie. Like, hey, they built an entire community online, frauding, sipping. I mean, bullshitting. I mean, this one big hump of bullshit they build a community on. And if somebody comes in there and they're calling it on them, they can't be Jack Reacher no more. All this speculation is gone. The Xbox is going to be putting games everywhere, including on PlayStation. Okay? Including on PlayStation. So they're just going to have to get over it. Everybody's going to have to get over it. And when you are literally being told every day, when you're being told and there's evidence showing that you're becoming irrelevant, that Nintendo is selling more copies of games than you are, don't get me started on that. You start feeling, what did the millennials say? What's you all saying? I'm going to have to steal a millennial saying. You feel some kind of way. I don't know where I love it though. Millennials just come up with stuff. I don't know what feeling some kind of way means, but they feel some kind of way. I mean, that's just all I can say. So that sounds like the Republican. Hey, look, all politicians lie. So the Democratic Party is no better than the Republican Party. It's just that they let you eat the same bullshit, but afterwards they let you go get a cake. That's it. So, well, hey, I like that Trump dude. That Trump dude, he has unprotected sex with porn stars. And then he lies about it. That's the whole thing. Like, if I had sex with a porn star, I wouldn't lie about it. I'd be like, yeah, I went up to her penthouse and I ripped off the headboard. I bronco busted her. That's what men do. Hey, if mama's not doing her homework, Daddy will go get a tutor. That's just the way it is. Daddy will get a tutor. You know, so yes, there are some Xbox, the community is in its feelings, you know, because they're mad that what we have been saying for the last 18 months, if you want to look at it like that, has come to fruition. When Phil Juggernaut Head Spencer, shout out to One Stop for Gamers, when he sits up there and says things like, you know, the idea that it's locked, media is locked to one device, that's totally weird to me. You know, Phil Spencer said that. You all saw the interview. You know, you all saw the interview that I played yesterday. That everybody shot Ryan the Professional. He played it as well. So somebody like Crazy, like I went, yeah, I mean, you just gotta own it. I don't understand that. I hooked up with a stripper. Yeah, I raw dogged that stripper years ago. But it's just I had to do it. Somebody had to. It was the right thing for me to do. You know, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, it's just no way. When she came over, she looked good. She looked good on stage. I threw on some Luther Vandross and some man, who else is on that album? I had Luther on that album. I had some Phil Collins on that album. You all got to get down to Phil Collins. One more night. I'm telling you, one more night. The saxophone solo is about 45 seconds. That's worth that record right there. I threw on some Kenny G, you know, and yeah, I had a grand old time, like the Flintstones, yabba dabba do. And I'm not gonna lie to you about it, you know. So, but when you're in the Xbox community and you're seeing things come to fruition, like more PC, I mean, you got PC games, you got more. XO was more. Phil Spencer came out of XO and didn't say shit about the Xbox. He didn't say shit about the Xbox. What did he talk about? The Windows Store. He talked about the Windows Store. Now, in his one-on-one interview, he talked about what? Phil Spencer talked about the about bringing games to everybody. And look, people are, you know, trying to, you know, come at me a little bit. It's fine about Hellblade. Hellblade is by Ninja Theory. That's a first-party Microsoft studio. If you don't think Microsoft could have went in there and played Big Bank Takes Little Bank and said, look, we know you're bringing Hellblade physical to PlayStation. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that. We want you to bring it physical, but only to the Xbox. But it's, what's up, Cyber Dragon? But that goes past them. But, you know, Microsoft's in this to make money. I know I'm buying a copy of it. This is unprecedented what's about to happen when Hellblade comes out. Why am I so spun up? Well, one, I'm drinking NyQuil and shots of whiskey. So I'm having, like I said, it's yabba dabba do up over here. I'm fine. So XO is a 2-hour. Yeah. Look. When I told you all, well, first things first, I told Almighty Next Gen, Xbox was going to have a keyboard and mouse with Razer. They laughed at me. They put the Messiah out to pasture. But then here they come, Microsoft coming around. You know, coming up to you, hey boys, hey girls, you know, like friggin' Mickey Mouse, talking about here's a keyboard, here's a mouse. Duh, I told you. Shout out to Triple Cup Chuck too. Oh damn. Oh, shout out to Dark Exodus. He's on. Shout out to Dark Exodus. It's like a bunch of people are loving about this whole Sony thing. So, but I want to know what your favorite PlayStation game or games are. Give me 2 of your favorite PlayStation games, like the 2 that you just can't wait to go play after this podcast. Okay, what 2? Because I can tell you what my 2 are. You know, number 1 is Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the best game this generation. It's so facto. Go put your pants on and go wash your stained ass underwear. Nothing can touch it. It's got a nice avatar and Aloy, and it's got real HDR. It ain't got no fake HDR. So yes, 5-year anniversary for PlayStation. Is it tomorrow? So Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man. Yeah, my second one this generation, let me make this clear, for PlayStation has been the Uncharted Lost Legacy. I really enjoy Lost Legacy. I like God of War. I like Lost Legacy a little bit more than Detroit, even though Detroit was more visceral. So, yeah, shout out to PlayStation, which means next week is Xbox's anniversary, Black Friday, Neo and Spider-Man. See, there you go. What you guys are doing, Xbox can't do because their games are on PC. And how about Sunset Overdrive? Tomorrow, Sunset Overdrive will be on PC. 4K, 60 frames per second. And I want somebody to stream that shit and just put out 30 seconds of footage. Just put the superior way to play this game. Yeah. See, I'm not a Bloodborne guy. All I did was press B. So, but I thoroughly enjoy Lost Legacy. Shout out to Jimmy B Gaming. There is no way in hell I'm going to finish that game without Jimmy B Gaming posting those puzzle solving the puzzles to YouTube. So big shout out to Jimmy B Gaming. So, you know, Lost Legacy, yeah, it's a great game. I really enjoyed it. And when I really had to think about the best games for me, and this is all opinion, for me, and again, Spider-Man will probably be the best game, but I got to wait for all that DLC to come in. But I ain't going to lie, that Black Cat DLC, fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Plus, what it implied that Peter Parker goes raw, that's what I'm talking about. Peter Parker going raw. Sick. I got a favor to ask you. Can I drop the link in the PPP on Twitter? Can I drop the link in there? I want to ask permission. So, yeah. So, and then what's your most anticipated game? So, yeah, I love with that. I'm like, wait a minute. Peter Parker talking about that could be his kid. Peter Parker be going raw. I mean, we need more superheroes like that. Thanks, Sid. We need more superheroes like that. I mean, he ain't even try. I mean, look, and shout out to Jade Hub City. Like he said, hey, look, if she showed up to my door looking like that, he may have to forget all reason. Ghost of Tsushima. Well, what's going on, Vieratron? Hope you can hop on here. I'm gonna drop this into PPP. What is everybody looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima for? All right, I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers is making some of the best down passes I have ever seen. It's like some Joe Montana shit. All righty. So I'm going to put that in there right now. All right. So mine is under the sick humor one from the 14, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the 14. So, but I love it. Yeah, like somebody said, Sony gave all right, so Sony gave E3 the middle finger. Now people are like all up in arms. I got these people online going full fucking retard over over them doing this. And there's no reason to go full retard. And no, it doesn't mean that Sony's going to drop PS5. Okay, I'm just letting people know. It doesn't mean Sony is going to drop PS5. What it means, however, is that Sony has most of its development teams. Most of them are already developing for PS5. And they're not going to stop, do some type of video come to E3. There's just nothing to show anymore. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. The only group of people that showed anything worth a goddamn in the E3 last year was Nintendo. And that's if you're into their ecosystem. Microsoft showed a bunch of damn games that are going to be on other systems with their own. Shout out to them for doing that. So that's just it. Jill Scott. Oh my. So they need to show something. Again, somebody's got to explain why they need to show something. What if they have nothing to show? You all do know they don't have anything to show, right? What else is there to show? Who else is streaming right now? I dropped the link in the Days Gone to be out when? Is it March or April? So there's no reason to show that. That's coming out before E3. MLB The Show comes out before E3. You know, so Anthem comes out before E3 as a multiplayer. Metro comes out before E3. So, well, and it doesn't. Until Dawn said they still announce PS4 exclusives. Who's Until Dawn? So, I mean, they may be there in some capacity. Supermassive. I think that's who did Until Dawn. Okay. But I just don't know. It doesn't mean they're going to show the PS5 this or 19. You know, just people got to stop going full retard and just wait. It's not like you don't. Now, if you wanted to see something from Kojima, you have a Gaming Awards coming up in like 2 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks. There's going to be game footage shown of a lot of stuff at that. Okay, just trust me. I've seen that lineup. And there's going to be some nice games shown. World debuts, some surprises are coming back. Some DLCs are coming back. I'm just letting people know. They gonna that Gaming Awards show, I'm gonna watch it and take that out. But I'm watching it now because of I'm watching it now because of the game announcements. That's just I gotta see these game announcements now. So Paris Games Week is over with. That was over with like 3 weeks ago. The game show, is it the one that Jeff Keighley or Knightley, whatever his name is? They're going to show some games there. I mean, everybody's going to show some games. They always do. But I'm looking at their list right now. They're going to show some games. So, you know, they're going to be showing some games. You know, I'm just going to leave it at that. So, I mean, again, I was not going to watch the Video Game Awards. I just, you know, I voted. Whatever wins, wins. I don't have a dog in that fight. But at the end of the day, they're going to be showing some games. So, you know, it is what it is. So, Well, good point, J-Dog. That's fine, Robert, but we don't have any proof of that. So, yeah, 4K 60. Wow. So you got the 1080 Ti, right? Am I saying that right? Or did you go ahead and get the 2080 Ti KOP 901? Yeah, that's that. I think that's the Vega GPU. That thing is putting the fear of God into the video right now. So the video's got that big Intel's got that big sex scandal going on. So AMD is really gobbling up space. I'm looking at my stock statement, and I'm loving it. So, I'm loving it. Oh, you posted some leaks on Twitter. Okay. What's up, Fatal Sherrod? You accept new gameplay of the to be released game or trailers? Very well could be that. So, but I'm not. I mean, again, I'm just going to watch to see the games. I mean, we're going to see a lot of games. You should see Anthem, Metro. We already saw Metro at a 4K rack. I'm ready for that shit. I'm just going to play it for that. Once I get to that point, I ain't going to play it no more. So I'm just going to I'm going to change my name to 4K Rat, on Twitter. I'm getting excited about that. So I'm trying to think what else is there. Still waiting for you all to put your what's your most anticipated games? So, you're not going to get the 2080 Ti? Okay. What do you think of new movie, Dumbo? I have not seen previews for it yet. But if it's going to be like the animated Dumbo, shout out to them for doing it. I know it's a test because they're trying to do the Lion King right now. So, I'm not going to go watch it. I mean, if that's your question, am I going to go watch it? The answer is no. The Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We don't know about Horizon Zero Dawn, but okay. What's the difference in Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro? The Last of Us 2 and Doom Eternal. What about nobody's going to be playing that World of Warcraft or whatever Blizzard announced? Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2. Yeah. Yeah, I really hope Resident Evil 2 is a good game because that's the only zombie game I like. And I always tell people, if you played that zombie game first, all the rest of these zombie games are stupid. All of them. I mean, I'm talking about Dying Light. I'm talking about Dead Island. I think that's what it's called, Dead Rising, The Walking Dead. All this is nothing compared to Resident Evil 2. So, and I'm talking about Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation. So, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is a sleeper hit. I know I'm gonna probably get it. Sony in VR, Borderlands VR is supposed to be out. Oh, is it? Sekiro is a Tenchu game. So it's gonna be more stealth based. Zombie ate my neighbor. So yeah. Oh, is that a samurai game? Who was that?
Oh my god.
Oh, what's happening? I didn't see anybody pop in.
And doing one of your stealth tactics. Oh, I'm bodying.
Yeah. What is going on, young lady?
Hold on, I'm bodying a little bit.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Dougie Fresh said, is it good? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh. Yeah, I saw. Man, I was going to ask you about your other podcast a while back, but yeah, we could talk about the E3 because I kind of knew about the changes, kind of, because there was rumors spreading like a year ago or a couple years ago that that Sony was going to cancel theirs, but they kind of stuck through for last year and this year. So I mean, and they're doing it for 1 year anyway. They're just canceling for 1 year and they're coming back to E3. So I'm not really seeing what's the big deal of the community really acting up about it, because it's getting kind of like it's going to start becoming more rumors because people are saying they're going bankrupt. Like I just saw someone just said that people are saying Sony's going bankrupt. I'm like, what the hell? Why? How you assume something like that? That means Nintendo should went bankrupt. Activision, all them, they canceled their events. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. That's a good point. I just didn't think it was that big a deal. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not like that's the only place you can go make announcements, but let's just sometimes you gotta sometimes you gotta let them sleep with the fishes, I guess.
Is the rent okay, so it's the rent to space that costs.
Yeah.
And Sony just said, nah, we fine. We do ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, also I mean right now California is in a really kind of bad disaster at this point. So a lot of places probably are raising up their prices.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm in the area that is smoky. There's no fire nearby, but it's very, very smoky where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, I hope that's not really the real cause of why the E3 was canceled because of this. So
yeah, I mean, Sony just, they keep backing up trucks of money because that Venom movie is somehow making people money. I mean, it's just, so, my God, I mean, it's made 700% profit. 700% profit. Trash! But it made 700% profit. So, I just I don't know why people are I was just kind of like, oh, okay, it's just not that big a deal.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really tripping much about it. I know some people get shocked about it, but when a company is quiet, there's always something behind it. You can't. Yeah. They're doing a very stealthy ninja move right there. No pun intended.
Yeah, I understand. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm like, well, if you all know that most of their studios are already making games for that other console, and they are, that's why those other studios aren't even talking. I mean, you don't see them releasing any stuff. They're gonna say happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays, but they're not announcing anything. I mean, Naughty Dog announced like some more people got hired. They didn't say what it was for. They could be washing dishes. They could be.
They started interns, and they could be interns. They're just starting out. They're starting to know the basics of something, and then they become a full hire later on. But yeah, you don't know what they're doing, and that's one thing I kind of like it better when. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I like it better when Xbox is actually quiet. When they run their mouth, they just put their foot in their mouth. When they're quiet, it sounds better.
Yeah, I see.
That's just my for them being quiet. That's why Sony's quiet. I think all gaming companies should be quiet for now until they actually have something really to talk about. So when you run your mouth half of the year and you're not showing anything to show proof, you become more like just loud noise in the background. It starts to become that. Well, that's just my. I mean, that's how I see it.
No.
And the fans are better. Microsoft.
Yeah. What about the fact
that ain't nothing? Yeah.
The same thing. People were saying that XO was going to be an event that Microsoft has the floor to themselves. We seen what they did when they had the floor to themselves. Garbage. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, it was garbage.
It's true, but if you really saw that, I'm telling you guys now, a lot of their Game Pass was literally advertising XO.
Yeah.
And there were advertised Game Pass because I remember having Game Pass being popped up on my account. I was like, why are they so focused on Game Pass? Even says there, Game Pass. So I mean, it was kind of obvious that we're going to focus on Game Pass, but under their information, they said, "Oh, exclusive this and that," and it's like, well, if you're going to talk about exclusives, talk about it. Don't just say just Game Pass. That's why a lot of people had a lot of high expectations.
Yeah. I just don't know. People jump right to saying, "Oh, they're going to release PS5." I'm like, based on what? Like, based on what logic are we basing this on? It's just like
You don't, and that's why you don't want Sony to do the exact same thing. And everybody was talking about, oh, why did they not have their own conference? I said, well, last time they had a conference, everybody called it garbage. And then, all of a sudden, E3 comes up, and you guys call it garbage. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, if they start to know as a pattern from the community, they're going to like, okay, we need to make a different approach. Let's be quiet and let's do something different. I don't know. They might do something really interesting, and we never know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to put any high expectations at this point. Let them do what they need to do, and we'll see.
Yeah. No, I've never. I was just like, I had like 64 notifications. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why is this such a big deal for you?
Let's do something different. Yes. If you're going to, that's what I'm saying. Don't be lazy. Just make a conference and waste people's time. 2 hours of an info commercial? Come on. Don't do that. Don't. I was glad I did not see the whole Nature Mel dancing in this little info commercial. I'm so glad I didn't see the whole thing. I went out and do something else and came back and everybody was talking about it. And it's like, yeah. I mean, that was cringy as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, a lot of these gaming events are cringy. Let's be real. They always cringy. What do you think the awards show? The gaming awards show is one of the cringiest. So
yeah, and I'm just gonna look at that a little bit to see the game announcements. And that's it. I mean, I'm not even worried about who's going to win what. My game of the year was not even nominated. So I'm like, well, I'm not even going to care, what does what. So, but no, I'm yeah, I just can't believe the way some people are reacting. So I'm just kind of like, what's the big deal? Big deal. They get called a middle finger. They say go kick rocks, go fly a kite.
I mean, was it like Nintendo did it like a couple of times? They canceled E3 like a couple of times in the past. Because I know that Nintendo did some cancellations in the past. Konami did some cancellations. I think Konami canceled theirs this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
I understand that people wanted to see maybe gameplay of like Death Stranding and stuff, but he may be it. What if Kojima comes out there and says Death Stranding is finished and it will be out, May 18th? He can just come out and say that. Yeah. It's finished.
And BioWare kind of canceled theirs for a while when they were doing what game they were doing at the time. Oh yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. They canceled it multiple times. Oh, I mean, when they were doing Mass Effect Andromeda, they were canceling, I think, like twice or 3 times. And that in the end, that's when I didn't really. That's why I don't really care for E3, because I look at the PlayStation side and a little bit of Nintendo, and I just do my own thing. I don't really watch E3 like that. So I'm not really, and that's kind of like why I'm just got to the point like, you know what? There's no games that catch my interest. I don't really care for. So when half the time E3 is nothing but majority of the time it's nothing but people just talking about something that is really never really it talk, but they don't show anything. It's starting to become that's a big sign right there, because I've seen that a lot for the past 4 years. I've been noticing a lack of games and a lot of vendors. So they haven't really been showing anything for us. They've been talking about it, but not really showing anything. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody should start a Twitter rumor and say the reason why they canceled E3 was because Bethesda did not do crossplay with Fallout 76.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of glad that the Fallout 76, people saw what it was, like what they were doing, like really shady shit, because they're doing with Fallout 76. It's so broken that you're basically trying to sell me a broken game. I mean, I'm hearing people say, I'm gonna play that. I want to play Fallout 76. I'm sitting here like, good luck. I will not put that disc nowhere near my PlayStation. It's already falling apart. Whether I want to make it broke, why I want to like damage it? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me to play a game. And when the company tells you, since a notice, a public notice, that the game is spectacular, what with spectacular bugs or issues,
Yeah.
It there. And now there's another letter being posted by that company, and people saying, "Oh, it's a joke." And I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Nah." They're looking at people's YouTube and seeing if you guys are really talking good stuff about the game. You know, who's doing the most butt kissing? Because they're really checking. They're checking people's videos. I'm telling this company is checking. Bethesda is checking everybody's videos just to see if you guys are really liking their game or you just talking shit.
Yeah, good point.
So just to see who's the biggest, just to see, oh, that person likes our game. Well, let's sponsor our game on their channel. Let's you know, like, you know how people are very like centric channels. That's pretty much they're checking. They're checking Fallout centric channels.
So. Oh, well, maybe I'll play it tomorrow then.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
They'll be like, "How do you like the game?" I may say, "Garbage." I don't know. Nah, I may look into it though. It's funny to me.
Yeah,
it was broken.
Yeah. E3 is boring. Yeah, it has been for the past 4 years. About 3 or 5 years. It's been kind of boring. So, and they're really not announcing. And then when they announce about a game, it might be years later. So, I don't.
Yeah, good point. I'm not yeah, I mean again, it's just like when they canceled PSX, I'm like, well, they don't have nothing to show. I mean, so why people thought they weren't gonna E3 is in the same block? Yeah, there's just nothing to show. So
I mean, like I said, I never get mad about that stuff, and that's why you'll see me go in there like, oh my gosh, they canceled it! Ah, this is horrible. No, Xbox is as similar as PlayStation. I wouldn't care either. I'd be like, okay, they might have something up their sleeves. They're actually doing something. So, you know.
Yeah, they may have something to see. Waiting to see the new TVs at CES.
I don't know. That'll be bad. New TVs.
Yeah, they're due. There's some new TVs should be rolling out. You know, here soon. What game are you playing right now? Like on your PlayStation? Like, what is your game?
Oh, I just got Monster Hunter, and I want to get in further in the game. So I'm trying to get used to the control. I'm trying to get used to the game. I'm actually kind of liking the Monster Hunter series. So
yeah.
And by the way, they're making a movie, and it looks like garbage already. There you go.
Really? I didn't know they were making a movie.
Yes, they're making a movie of Monster Hunter. What is the fashion is a fucking sorry. You know what I'm gonna say? It's a fucking it's a goddamn military. They literally like make it look like US military. So with US military propaganda on the fantasy monster hunting game.
That's gonna be terrible. I'll make sure not to go watch that. So watch that movie come out and make $1 billion. It's
gonna make $1 billion for people who don't know what Monster Hunter is. That's what they do. That's what Hollywood does. It knows how they bring out movies that no one doesn't know what it is, and they make money that way. It's easy to make money that people don't understand, and people actually understand. That's why the Pokemon movie looks more interesting. Honestly, I'm actually more interested in the Pokemon movie that's coming out than any of the movies that have been coming out lately. I mean, it's not because the Pokemon could talk. It's the fact that they actually had the Pokemon look kind of accurate in this movie than they did with Netflix. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, but why in the world is it? What's it doing in this movie? I mean, I saw that preview. I'm like, this looks terrible. That's all I can say. I'm just like, who's gonna go watch this? Watch it make $1 billion.
Well, if Hollywood makes a Tetris movie, so there you go. Okay, wait, did they make a movie like Tetris? It was kind of like some goofy. No, that was Pixels. Sorry. That was Pixels. That movie. Oh gosh, that movie.
That ended careers. I mean, that Pixels ended people's careers. So
it sure did. I forgot.
Yeah, after that, Adam Sandler started producing the Price is Right TV show full time because that flat out destroyed his career. And he had rebuilt his career. He had a good one. It went to shit. He rebuilt it, and then it went right back to shit after that movie. It just went way downhill. I'm like, you know what? This looks terrible. I mean, what is this about?
Yeah, but games based off movies based off games.
Mm-hmm.
I can say games are been. I mean, Spider-Man has to be the biggest one out of all of them. So
yeah, and I would have. Yeah, Spider-Man would have won Game of the Year, but it's got DLC, and they can't. They're not going to vote it for Game of the Year because it's not finished. I mean, they have not finished the story yet because there's more story into that DLC. Now, the main game I thought was really good, but that Black Cat DLC, I thought that was phenomenal. I mean, I really liked that. You know, that
or don't let them tell you different. What? Ooh, you got someone here throwing a lot of hate.
That's fine. So Final Fantasy ain't never coming out. Oh, okay, well, I beat Final Fantasy 7 back in the day. But so that's, I mean, again, yeah, that's a game that everybody should have played and beat. You know, because that game was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that's the first time I saw my friends up like crying at the bus stop, crying because of the way that game ended. So
okay, so the base game is finished. Okay, the base game is finished. Just that DLCs has nothing to do with not being Game of the Year.
By God, yes, it does. It does for me. But I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's not like it's a terrible game. It's just that had that game come out with all the DLC ready to go, it would have won Game of the Year. It's by far when I was playing that game. As a matter of fact, when I play that game, I have a smile on my face. It's like when I'm watching a Marvel movie in the theater. I can feel a smile on my face when I'm watching the movie. And I'm playing the game like, wow, I'm really having a good time. So, but yeah, somebody made a good point saying that the Sony fans are going to just butcher all their own games. And that's why I voted for Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is big around the world. You know, it's big in Japan, it's big in Europe. It's so well in the United States.
But here's the thing. Japan didn't think that US fans would like Monster Hunter. And I thought that was kind of strange when they brought out a lot of Monster Hunter games. So I'm just assuming that, I think in Japan, they're just assuming the US market likes and what it don't like. That's why we don't really see a lot of really good games that come out from Japan to here, because they're going by what they assume. Like their expectations are really low for us. But Europe been getting a lot of the games that don't come out here, but it's over there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They said Taser somebody is a Xbox fan. I'm like, well, he's here to see his Messiah, so that's fine. It's okay. The Messiah is here for you. Well, a soccer count.
Well, I guess I am. I don't know. I should take that as a compliment.
What's that?
This lady sounds as she hasn't been on the. Oh, I guess I haven't been on the crumb side. I guess yeah.
Yeah, who wants to be on the crumb side? Those dudes are terrible. And So
I guess I should take that as a compliment. Thank you.
yeah.
I guess. I don't know much about the crime side. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I used to follow some of those people until I realized who they are, and that was early this year. I have those people that everyone said. So, not all of them, only some of them. But over time, I started out to other people, and I'm happy I started meeting a lot of different groups of people around here. So you guys are okay. So my opinion, just I don't know. I haven't gotten deeper into the crime side because the crime side they just leave you're alone.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, the crumb side. I mean, like I said, the funniest thing the crumb side said was to Next Gen when he was mad about Sea of Thieves, and they said to him, "Well, you need to watch National Geographic and learn about what pirates did." I literally hit the floor.
Or watch Black Sail. Black Sail is a good show. Watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it. Really good. I mean, I think the Cross was it Bones, Skull and Bones. That's the new one that looks like more of a it looks more like Black Sail right there, but more of pirate combat.
Yeah,
but
I will play that. I want to blow some boats up out of the water. I do want to try that game. So, no, not yet. Why, hey Tudor, not yet. So. The Messiah's church is welcome to all. So I mean, I have an Xbox right here, so it's not that big a deal.
You give it to one. You give it to somebody, and they took it back. They had Spider-Man on it. The Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So
it shows you right there.
Yeah, that's what happened on it. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, so I started laughing. I'm like, are you serious? And you don't want the console because of that. And then, well, she says, it's not up to me. He wants that Spider-Man game. So, hey, I'm sorry. That's only on
PlayStation. He wanted a PlayStation, not a Xbox.
Yeah, that's what happened. So, I can't give it away. You know, it's like my Richard Marx album. That thing's worse than my Richard Marx album. I can't give that away either. Ooh, that whiskey's good.
Someone said I haven't said anything Xbox. I guess. I mean, if you like Xbox, you like PlayStation, but just don't go all fanboy and start just threatening people to take down their accounts or something because they didn't like your piece of plastic. That's one thing I'm pretty much disappointed. I'm not really disappointed with the gaming side of the community because this is quite normal behavior. Sadly, you're going to have people going to try to shut you down just because because you speak out facts or you feel like you're getting too popular and people will feel threatened by that. That happens. That happens in every fandom. Just to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I don't disagree. The thing is that when you build everything on quicksand and bullshit, and then somebody comes along and drains the swamp, you ain't got nothing left to stand on. But I also think they saw with XO, they saw the end. There's no beginning of the end. You can no longer deny what Microsoft and Xbox is doing. So it's just. Even their like I said, even Stevie Wonder can see what they're doing. So it's just reality. So.
Yeah, you could like an Xbox, but don't ever compare it to a woman. And I agree with that because I'm still pissed off at hearing that shit was actual. That was an actual thing. Someone really said they compare a woman to an Xbox. That's an insult, man. To a point where people were asking where's the hole. I said that Xbox symbol. There's your whole the Xbox symbol because it looks like an asshole. Let's be real, the symbol looks like an asshole.
Well, I guess I thought of it like that.
Yo.
Hey, I don't.
What?
Hey,
Oh, you up late, brother?
Yeah, I know, man. I just got done. I was playing Tetris and playing Firewall.
Oh, okay. Do you think Firewall win VR Game of the Year? Did you vote for it?
No, I didn't vote. I really don't know. I have no idea what the categories are, but if I had to make a guess what's going to be VR Game of the Year, I think it's going to be Astrobot.
Oh, kind of kind of an upset because it just came out then. I see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everybody loved Astrobot. I mean, people were really ginning that game up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the thing about it is, both Astrobot and Firewall, I do believe that both of those games moved the VR units off the shelf. So that's a tough one to call.
Yeah, and those VR units will be on sale for Black Friday.
Yay!
Next week, next Friday, $200. Go get you one. Be there. One of the terrorists win. Go ahead, Vieira. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, hey, Lincoln. And I was going to ask you guys about that VR because I saw I saw the sale on it. And I always wonder, can you hook that to the OG PlayStation 4 or it has to be
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Any of the PlayStations, the OG PlayStation 4, the Slim, the Pro, it works on all of them.
Okay, just making sure because I remember when the VR came out, everybody said, "Oh, it's only for the Pro." Like, what? I know that at the time they were trying to sell the Pro, and that's what they were doing, but it wasn't giving out good information up to the Pro or I could hook up to all the systems.
So I will warn you. You will see a little bit of a downgrade in resolution if you've been playing Spider-Man, or God of War, or something like that. It's something like those gorgeous games, and then you go over to VR. Some of the games some of the games look really good. They just they're just not on the level of especially with me having a Pro. God, Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn and all that stuff look good. I think that I've said it before. I think if Sony had not got involved in VR would have died because it's a really expensive hobby. I know as of like about a year ago, it would take about $1,000 minimum to build a PC strong enough to push VR, and then you're looking at $600-700 for the headset.
Yeah, it's expensive to get into. There's a ton of games.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, Sony, they the champs, man. Ain't no way around it. And that's not corporate slaving, but they the champs. They got great games, and they added the VR aspect of it. They got 1 trillion games in the VR library, and it seems like 5 or 6 games get added to the library every week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it was the fact that usually the Game Awards, it's like if you take away the esports stuff, take all that away, about 80% of those games are PlayStation games. 80%, give or take. And it's just kind of like, okay, and even all those Game of the Years, you can play all those Game of the Year nominees on PlayStation. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that to me, I'm like, this is the superior console. I can play all those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During my absence, I would like to think that you discussed Sony's declining to attend E3. What did you make of it?
Oh, is that for me or for Vieira?
Both. Yeah, I'd like to get both of
Go ahead, Vieira.
I already said it. I just it's not a shocker to me because there have been talks about them leaving E3 for a while, and they've been holding up for almost 2 years. So it is finally they had the right time to do it because they knew they got projects coming in, and they're they're holding out on it. So.
Yeah.
And you, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, again, they don't really have anything else to show. They can actually show, and they're going to show some stuff at the choice, whether it's these awards coming out, because a lot of their developers, all the developers are there. Naughty Dog is at that award show, Insomniac will be there. Kojima, he was there last year. No reason to think he won't be there this year. And it's just Guerrilla, they'll be there. So they're still getting awards for Horizon Zero Dawn to this day. They're still getting awards off that. So, I think that people making the jump that they're going to have a PS5 announcement in the next umpteen days, that's probably too far of a leap. It's just that most of their first-party developers are already deep into development. Their new projects for their games. But I just me and Vieira, we kind of agree. We think there's some people that are. I mean, it's okay to be disappointed. I understand being disappointed, but to sit up there and go further than that, that's a little disappointing because they've been there for what 20 years in a row, something like that. So that's disappointing. They're breaking a 20-year tradition, but yeah, that's it. I mean, like Vieira said, somebody said that they were going bankrupt.
Oh God! You know, so I knew the Xbox. I know the Xbox was going to say that kind of stuff. You know, if I can say a couple of things. First of all, addressing the Xbox, I said it in my podcast earlier that the way they looking at Sony not showing up to E3 is like that scary kid that was going to have to fight the bully after school, and he was terrified to fight him, but he was going to go ahead and show up anyway. And then when the bully didn't make it because he had something else to do, now he's beating his chest that the bully was scared of him. That was one way. That's how I look at it as far as the Xbox goes. But I think myself, why I think they didn't show up was for a couple of reasons. I think E3 is not that important anymore. It's starting to turn into a mobile games expo where each year the mobile presence is getting stronger and stronger, where it's, in a few years from now, I'd probably say 50 or 60% of E3 might be composed of mobile games. And for the most part, I think Sony's plate is full right now to get ready for the PS5. I like an open house. I think the PS5 is in the oven. It's almost done. They got the cake batter ready to put on the PS5. The kitchen's a mess. They got to do the dishes and get the place cleaned up before the guests arrive. So I just think that
possibly.
And I just they chose to cut out E3 because they just got too much stuff to do right now to get ready for the PS5.
Well, possibly. But I mean, again, they don't have a ton to show. It's not that it's not that they don't have anything to show. It's like, all right, Days Gone is coming out when in April or something like that, and then MLB The Show in March. So it's not like they don't have stuff for you all to play. And if not, you go back and play your old stuff. But their new console is coming pretty soon. I'll say it is going to come pretty soon, sooner than later.
But Craig, this is what it reminds me of the whole thing where people are trying to say. Remember when people were getting upset about the whole with the Guardian, about the dragon looking creature, the Last Guardian. What people were saying at the time when they talked about comparing the Crackdown and the Last Guardian, and people were saying, "Oh well, PlayStation had." The Last Guardian, but they had no games later on and stuff like that. And I said, no, The Last Guardian was in production for a very long time, yes, but they had other games for you to enjoy while they're fixing up that game because it was a PS3 game that was ported to the PS4. Yeah. And so over time, they had other games coming in. So when they finally gave out The Last Guardian, there were like mixed reviews, but other than that, at least it bought out. Crackdown 3 is another one who we're still waiting if it's going to be announced or not. So, and I mean, that's how I started to know this. This is what I started to notice there was people basically being more negative towards Sony when Sony is doing everything right. When you have Microsoft, who's, well, I'm going to say Xbox division, who's doing everything wrong, but still getting praise for their mess ups. So I'm starting to see that with the convention, it's the same. The con is the same thing because Sony's doing everything right. They have all their plate together, but then you have Microsoft who just did an event 2 weeks ago, and it looks like a hot mess. But everybody's happy because they're focusing on one thing, but not basically showing what the Xbox fans really want. So it's kind of like you kind of see there's always going to be some form of bias in this gaming community because that's the only thing I could say. I want to say that I was going to say that earlier, but I was like, eh.
I sum it up as first, if I can say something about the Last Guardian, they have the Last Guardian demo in VR, and that's been there for quite a while, and and it's a demo, but I hope they really follow through with making a full game out of it. That cat dog with the wings, whatever that thing is supposed to be, that thing is big in VR. When he first, like bit down and was like almost like sniffing at me and stuff, boy, that thing was big. But it was pretty neat. But as far as this situation, what you're talking about with with Microsoft, I feel like between these mindless Xbots and the American media, it's pretty much like Microsoft can do whatever they want and not be wrong in their eyes. And it amazes me how there are some companies that, American companies that will put out bullshit products and people will stand behind them no matter what. I haven't seen anything like this, in my opinion, since the 80s, given my age. I've said this before in one of my podcasts. During the late 80s, we were the United States was recovering from a gas crunch, and that prompted people to start buying more gas efficient cars, and therefore, the Hondas and Toyotas and stuff like that was selling like hotcakes. They had great gas mileage and they was dirt cheap. While over in Japan, nobody's buying our cars because they're junk. So when Ronald Reagan became president, he basically threatened Japan that they better start taking some more of our cars, or we're going to reduce the number of cars that they send here. And so Japan just basically said, fine, we'll send less cars here and we'll raise the prices of them. And that's what started this mess, why a Lexus costs as much as a Benz. But meanwhile, while all this shit was going on, while these Japanese cars were dependable and American cars were breaking down, you have people saying, stop buying that Jap crap and all this kind of shit. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing like right now. Microsoft is just putting out absolute bullshit. And these Xbots are following them right off the cliff, mindlessly. And then you had the media backing them up, vilifying Sony and acting like, these AA garbage that Microsoft's getting ready to put out is like, the hottest thing since Sunburn.
And when they vilified him, I mean, I did see some folks say things like, well, I mean, my opinion is that when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, something within the Xbox community started breaking. I mean, that it really started breaking. But then when Spider-Man came out, that broke them. Ever since that has been out, ever since that game came out, was it September?
Yeah, but if I can pause you for a second, that patch was already broke before Spider-Man came out, because they were getting all hyped up about Sea of Thieves, and then when God of War got a release date, that broke their back. They hadn't recovered from the broken back, and then Spider-Man came in and broke a few more vertebrae.
Yeah, well, I won't deny that. It just seems like to me, since the Spider-Man announcement that, or when it came out, when they said no, this is going to be a exclusive game, like they've been saying since 2015, whatever, 2015, 2016, that broke. Yeah, go ahead.
It was 2016.
Go ahead, Pierre.
Oh, I was going to say it was 2016 because I remember they were showcasing it, and then a lot of people were excited for the Spider-Man because they thought it was going to be movie based. But when they showed the trailer for 2017, they showed the trailer in 2017, and I saw the improvements, and there were some people on it, and I heard people were pre-ordering it. Now, 2018, when they announced it was going to be, it was on the PlayStation stage, and it said exclusively on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Everybody lost their shit even more. I mean, they were losing their shit in 2017, but 2018 they started losing their shit. That's how it all happened. And that's why you had all these real rumors spreading about Somniac and all this other stuff, talking about the puddle thing. So it kind of shows right there how not powerful. I should take that back. It shows how PlayStation knows what they're doing. And they've been doing that for quite some time. But just see how a fandom gets so angry over a game that is coming to a platform that is already contracted. It's actually really sad to me, because I remember people getting upset when at the time where the PlayStation 3 came out. I remember fans who were upset about Gears of War and wish they could play it because we didn't have a lot of shooters that were quite popular than the ones that were on Xbox.
Yeah.
But after a while, you just have to see, like, Microsoft, not Microsoft, Xbox had a lot of good games that were just basically not multi-class, but multiplayer. So you got a lot of people who were upset about that and upset about Sony. So I'm pretty sure Sony might be getting a multiplayer game coming out, because I've been like waiting for that myself. I've been waiting for one of their multiplayers because I'm getting into that, and now I'm just like, I'm excited about it. So who knows? I guess I'm really excited about. I'm actually excited about Sony. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm really excited about them.
You can't be as excited as me because
No, I'm not. I'm not. You more excited than I am, but I'm actually excited because I haven't come from this console since the early 2013. So I mean, now I'm starting to see everybody really enjoys the game. I mean, I enjoy PlayStation, but I really enjoy where they are bringing some games, even from Japan. They're bringing some really good games coming to the US. So that's what I'm also waiting for, because I do JRPGs.
You know, with the Sony platform, first of all, I think they got a good problem to have. They got a ton of games. That's a good problem to have.
True.
A shitload of games is better than a drought any day of the week. And secondly, I think it's just like I was trying to say before, because I think if you look at every generation of the PlayStation, there was no shortage of games, whether it was third party or exclusives, time exclusives, what have you. And I think Sony right now is doing what they've always been doing, that they've been putting so many games on their platform that is the more attractive looking console. So, and it's, I mean, you know, for the trillionth time, when Sony puts out a game, I don't think they so much put out a game looking for the game to bring them back $500 million. I think they look at it as it's another game in their library, adding to already a huge library, making the platform more attractive. You know, these people talking about, you know, these Xbox talk about the single player, the one and done games over on the PlayStation, but it's a trillion of them. So you get done with it, you play it, so what? You know, play another one, because they got that many to choose from.
Well, they're
go through player games, but you know, how long before you get tired of Sea of Thieves while I'm playing 5 or 6 different stories?
Well, but look at the Tomb Raider game. That's one and done. They were bragging about that. Red Dead Redemption.
I refuse to acknowledge those, because even though they're trying to claim those games as if it's their own exclusives, the third-party games. So I refuse to acknowledge that.
Well, I don't disagree. Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, man, are you kidding me? You're comparing a game that's on 2 or 3 platforms? Like, get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here with this. This was terrible. They were bragging about Tomb Raider and Spider-Man also Tomb Raider. I'm like, that game was on 3 platforms. How did this happen? How did a game on 3 platforms, a major release, get outsold by a game on 1 platform?
I mean, if you really think about it, about the whole Red Dead and all and Tomb Raider, yeah, they're one and done. But I mean, I think the Tomb Raider has DLCs coming out to it, so.
Oh yeah, it does.
Well,
you're right about that.
Even if these games were Xbox exclusives, the Xbox are the pot calling the kettle black, because they let Phil Spencer start that narrative that single player games are dying. Now here they got one.
So excited about Fable, then, Lincoln.
Yeah, why
Fable's going to be a single player game?
Last time I checked, as of the moment, right now, Red Dead is a single player game, and you can't tell me they bought the game for the multiplayer, because you know they could have easily waited until the multiplayer showed up. But no, they bought it. They bought it and they playing a single player game, and they're losing their mind over it.
It's got fake HDR, so I don't know what.
You this fake HDR thing. Shoot, where was that comment at? You know, 6 says something about, you know, Microsoft having garbage ass service-based games. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that if you can't see that, but when that those two who was I listening to on my way home? I don't know if it was Porter Rock. I was on my way home, and the 2 studios that they announced at XO, those were PC-based studios. And yes, they did save them from going out of business, but they're going to make service-based games. It wouldn't, Porter Rock's right, it wouldn't shock me if those studios made a PC exclusive game. You know, that wouldn't shock me, you know, or a multiplayer.
I think they're probably going to make mobile games.
Yeah.
You know, probably like a strategy game that can be played on either PC or mobile. I think that's what they were brought in for. And I said this, God knows how long ago, and God knows how many times that I felt like these bootleg developers were brought in to make bootleg games. But Sick Humor took what I said to another level, because he pointed out that, you know, that all these developers that they brought in were caught in a vulnerable position when Microsoft got a hold of them. And in some cases, he think Microsoft might have forced them into that vulnerable position.
Well, maybe. Oh boy, that's a reach. Maybe it wouldn't shock me if they did. But PC gaming, that's a finicky market. A lot of their real successful games are you know, games as a service. World of Warcraft, that's a game service.
Well, look at Obsidian. I guess rumor had it that they were in financial trouble, and they had been in trouble for quite a while. So, you know, so Microsoft probably came in and scooped them up for pennies on the dollar. And then you had Ninja Theory swearing up and down that they wanted to remain independent. And then to me, they whatever their situation is, they probably jumped out of a frying pan and into the fire by fucking with Microsoft.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's shout out to Jay Barry. Like I said, if I don't understand why he's so upset about it. It's a grown-ups making grown-up decisions. But yeah, if this 5-6 years from now and they struggling, be like, yeah, y'all shouldn't have went with Microsoft.
There's no sweat off my back. If they would have went in there and decimated Naughty Dog, it took like 70% of the staff, and then turned around and did that to Sony Santa Monica, and then San Diego Studios, then Sucker Punch, then Insomniac. Yeah, I would be shook up. But they, you know, they went and picked these dudes up, you know, working at Family Dollar, and brought them in to make games. You know, I mean, put it like that, but you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, Family Dollar, they sell Casey Masterpiece barbecue sauce, but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's yeah. I mean, to me, if when I was watching XO, I'm like, you know what? They were just going to put all their shit on Game Pass, and they're going to sell Game Pass. Like, Game Pass in theory could just be a separate device. You could just get a device and put Game Pass on it. No disc. Just say, hey, look, you're going to stream Game Pass, and we'll give you the ability through the cloud to play a bunch of games. And that's what a lot of people are going to do, I think. So it's just, which is fine. I'm not knocking what Microsoft is doing. They went toe-to-toe with Sony, and Sony clobbered them. But they went toe-to-toe with them for what, like 15 years? Mm-hmm. So to me, they hung in there as long as they could, doing what they did. But when you release the world's most powerful console, and then you got rent-to-own stuff, you know, which is fine, but these dudes were bragging about it. But that's not good, folks. I mean, it's not good. You know, I understand renting to own. Okay, fine. But you come up with a business plan so that motherfuckers can rent your shit? Are you serious? And then you got people defending it. Well, it's a good idea for the people who can't buy one. Just save your money and go buy one. You know, I don't know what to say to people.
I mean, that's what I did when I was coming up. I saved all my money to buy me a console. So, I mean, that's when I bought me at the time it was a Nintendo 64 was my very first console I bought. You know, majority of the stuff I bought when I was a kid. You know, I saved my money up. I was not in high school, sorry. Junior high, and I had an allowance. My mom gave me my money. So I saved up to get a 64. Then she bought a second one. I don't know why. But then, you know, over time, I started to build up saving my money over years with every console I got. No one ever did a rent-to-own. I never bought rent-to-own anything. So, yeah, I never went to Rent Center and bought me a console because I think that's so stupid. But I feel like, but here's a question. Do you guys feel like maybe companies like what Microsoft was doing is a little bit too catering to your customer. You're kind of like babying your customers, not really showing them like, hey, this is what we can do. We got you some really good games, but then you just like, and it feels like they're not really caring to their fandom base. They feel like they're just babying them. I don't feel like they're really catering, like actually helping out their fan base. I feel like they're, to me, I don't know. It just looks like it.
You know, Craig pointed out something interesting a while back when he said Satya Nadella probably took a look at the numbers and called Phil Spencer into his office, and because they were in the red, and was like, "Fix this."
Yeah.
You know, when I went back and did some research, you know, we know that like Donnie D got fired and or walked off the job, whatever you want to call it, in July of 2013, shortly after he opened his mouth about, if you don't like it, get a 360.
Yeah.
Satya Nadella took over Microsoft, I think, in November of 2013. So they were only like a couple of weeks away from the release of the Xbox One. So I don't know, you know, I don't know what their overall numbers might have been during the 360 generation, and I'm sure they had to take quite a hit, you know, from the money they spent. They spent $1.5 billion trying to fix that red ring situation. And then you take a look at the pre-order numbers of the Xbox One before the console even launched. That was already a bad sign. And then Phil Spencer came in February of 2014. So I think it was a case of him having to win his job, of him having to win the job, rather him being brought into the office and said, "What the hell is this?" You know. But I think that when he got the job, I think they probably told him, "This is how long you've got to turn this division around." And I think they probably told him, you know, you better find a way to make this division stand on its own 2 feet without having to get money from the corporation. And this is how long you got to make it happen. So with that being said, you know, they going with this cloud shit. And so it sounds to me like Microsoft was going to go with this cloud anyway, with or without gaming. So, you know, so them using the cloud for games isn't going to cost them. I'm thinking it's not going to cost them any more than what they had planned to do with the cloud in the first place. Then you bring in these bootleg developers where it's going to cost 15 cents to make these games. You know, so when you look at it like that, yeah, financially the Xbox division will stand on its own 2 feet. And you know, you got them throwing out all these little rinky-dink, you know, Game Pass for $1 and shit like that to suck people in. But you know, don't worry though, that hammer is gonna land right on that cranium in a couple of years after the initiative puts out what they think is a quadruple A game, and then Microsoft thinks they deserve a raise.
Well, but look, the fact that you just said in a couple of years, that's what they've bought is time, because it's giving their fan base hope.
Yeah,
I mean, like when Princess Leia got you know, they delivered that disc to Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One, and she said, that guy said, "What is this?" And she said, "Hope." That's what this is for them. I mean, I give credit where credit is due. They slugged it out with Sony for a little bit, and they dug into them with that 360. You know, they had, you know, the Master Chief on there. You had Gears of War. I mean, you had Mass Effect started on that console. So, you know, it had really great games. Jade Empire was on Xbox. The Splinter Cell series started there. So, but it's just when you really look at it, those games have migrated over and got to PlayStation eventually. And I never played a Splinter Cell game. Well, I did. I played, the last few Splinter Cells I did. Did I play? What Splinter Cell game did I play? Hell, I can't remember. The last Splinter Cell game came out for Xbox only.
I remember what you're talking about. I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, Conviction, or it was the one after Conviction. That one, actually, I enjoyed that one because that was RPG, and you had to chase that terrorist down, and he left clues, and and I figured those clues out. I did not have to cheat, you know, to do that. So I didn't have to go online. So, but yeah, it's kind of like you damned if you do and damned if you don't. So, but yeah, I mean they're around. I don't think they'll go anywhere, but it's just that I mean it's not out in my mind. That's what Satya Nadella told Phil Spencer was, look, it's in the Q1. He gets his numbers like, look, Microsoft Windows is making money. Microsoft Surface tablets are making money. Our programs are doing well. what's up with this damn Xbox? This is your division, and y'all ain't making no damn money. You better fix this. And that's when Phil, and shout out to Foxy Games, because like he said, Phil Spencer has the arduous task of looking at all the games that are in development, and if they're not at a certain benchmark, he's got to cut them loose. That's what he started doing. That's the hardest job in the world, is to go in and say, we're not doing this. I mean, I was mad as hell when Scalebound was canceled. Like, I thought people were joking. I was on my way home from work. I'm like, are all these people just joking? I mean, freaking, matter of fact, I was subbed to JTech TV at the time. And I was like, well, let me see what Jay's talking about today. And it was like Scalebound's canceled. Then I went to Porter Rock's channel, Scalebound's canceled. One Stop for Gamers threw them totally under the bus, at that point. And it's just like, damn, this is it. This is the end. I'm done. And I had just gotten an Xbox One S. Like, literally, it came in on Sunday. Ordered it off of Amazon, was happy, had a chub going and everything. And then, like, 2 days later, they canceled that game. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I was mad as hell. Still ill.
Yeah. I mean, I had no when the Xbox One X was, being shown at E3, I had no interest in it except for the high fidelity VR. If they would have followed through with that, I possibly would have bought an Xbox One X. And I even said that in my podcast earlier today. I think if they would have followed through with that high fidelity VR, maybe even made their own peripheral, and then take games like their normal exclusives with the Forza, Halo, and Gears and put those in VR, you probably could have extended the life of these games. After all, it was Phil Spencer himself. The exact words that came out of his mouth was, we're going to take some chances with our existing IPs. Translation, that's when you saw the Gears Pop mobile shit and Gears Tactics. That's what he meant by taking chances, was appealing.
Gears Pop was terrible.
So
Gears Pop, not to interrupt you there, Gears Pop, and then that other Minecraft thing they were showing with the pandas. I was on the floor laughing at XO. I'm like, that's it. This show has went left. They showed a panda that looked like a block. Pandas don't look like that, folks. I don't know what the hell that was. So, but now go ahead, Lincoln. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead,
man. I think yeah, that's cool. I think if they would have went ahead and followed through with that high fidelity VR and with that route and like took their three main exclusives and put them on VR, I think that would have added a different touch to those games, and he would have been taking the chance, like he said. Then you would have been really taking a chance with your existing IPs. But you know how I feel about Microsoft. They, after that drug money, whatever they put out today, has got to make $8 trillion. At least that was the mindset before they finally got settled into this Game Pass shit.
Yeah. Well, and I like Game Pass. I'm not gonna lie. It's for me, because I don't have to buy an Xbox game. I downloaded Hitman. That first hit, I don't know. This is called Hitman. Agent 47. I downloaded that. I've already beaten it on PlayStation, but I'm like, yeah, I'll go through it again and murder some people, knocking off, drowning them, throwing knives and size and whatever I want to, bricks, knocking people off shit. Yeah. Oh, Hitman. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I know you.
Yeah.
About something totally different. I was like, I just came back like, what?
Yeah. No, Hitman is I like that, but I've always liked Hitman. So, and I was playing that game on PS2. That all those Hitman games, they're on PlayStation. Oh my god, blast and a blast. So bought them on the 360 when I went there. So I'm good, and it was free. Well, not free. It was on Game Pass. So I'm happy. I got a whole game on Game Pass. I can play it. We'll probably play it into the night tonight. So, speaking of that, I need to get on off of here because this is a PORCHLyTe podcast, and I've been on here an hour and a half. So.
Okay. Yeah, which was cool with me. I had, planned on popping in here for about a half an hour or so because I want to get some more gaming in before I go to bed.
Oh, that's cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to play some more Hitman before I turn in. But Miss Vieira, any closing words?
Closing words.
Yeah.
Don't ever compare a woman to a console. That is the only thing I can say, because that is. You know what? You know what? I'm thinking about drawing that. I will draw characters based off consoles. How about that? I've been in the mood to draw something for a while, and I'm like that. And is this going to be like like that? I mean,
somebody really do that? That's what I'm saying. Did somebody really say the console is a woman or something like that?
Yeah, Xbox is a. They compare Xbox to a woman.
They prefer it to a woman?
Oh, they compared it.
Compared it. Okay.
Compared the two, or to me at this point, I think some people wish Xbox was a woman because they can't really get a real one.
Yeah.
Probably have to drill a hole in the side of it first.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they have to do. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, I'm looking at mine. It does not look like a woman. That's all I can say. So,
you know what? What? Oh, my Spartan, he says, Vera sounds like a phone operator. You know what? You're not gonna lie. I kind of do sound like a phone operator. I actually listen to myself, and that's completely true.
So I want to tell everybody that in a few months, when you feel that ground shaking and you see chaos everywhere and everybody running and screaming, and you look up and see that huge mushroom cloud, that is the PS5 bomb that Sony dropped, and you see all these Xbots running for their life.
Yeah, it's gonna be something else. It's gonna do everything that people want it to do. I'll just leave it at that. So it's gonna be just like that. I thought you were gonna say it's like Fallout, like the Fallout 70.
You know what? Because of where we're at though right now, though, I almost feel like Armageddon is coming between Microsoft and Sony. The final battle between good and evil is coming.
Oh well, Microsoft's getting out. I mean, they're on the way out of it. So it's just they're not just going to wake. People aren't going to wake up one morning and be like, "All right, we're done. We're out of here." They're transitioning out, and this is a nice. I mean, being Netflix means that you're going to be everywhere. So mobile, the cell phone market. Phil Spencer specifically said that, and he also said he doesn't like how some major stories are locked behind one system. So that's his goal, is to get games on all systems. So we'll have to wait and see if he can do it. But that's his goal, and that's why I put up yesterday, what game are you looking forward to playing on your PlayStation from Xbox? Because they're coming. You know, it's just a matter of time before they get here, but it's coming. They're not gonna. That PS5 is gonna come out, and like people said, it's already sold because a lot of people are gonna go out and buy them. And it's like, okay, look, you need to deduct anywhere from 7 to 10 million off of the lifetime PS5 sale, because a lot of people aren't going to make the jump. And then you do the same for the new Xbox. So if they're at 34 million, they're going to be at, anywhere from 27 to 24 million with their new Xbox. It's just reality. That's not me hating the Xbox. You always subtract 7 million from your lifetime sale of your previous thing. So that's just, if you want to know how to write a business plan, that's what you do year to year. Now, you can be wrong. You can outperform that. Then you can report earnings. You'll hear Craig's company reported higher than expected earnings. We only expected to sell 10. We sold 12. That's higher than expected, So yeah. But guys, I am going to get off here. I'm going to pay my phone bills, and I have to save my voice. So I can feel it slipping away.
But before we go, I want to get this last point in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Microsoft has too much dough. Their pockets are too deep for them to be gone. So I've come to the realization, as far as gaming altogether, I know they're not going anywhere. But I want them out of the console space, because then whatever it is they're trying to sell, it'll have to stand up on its own merit instead of having to throw dirt on the competition or use cute buzzwords and stuff like that, and spend trillions of dollars promoting something when there's no more console around for them, but Game Pass is still there. That the Game Pass is going to have to sell itself based on the content that's in there.
Oh well, Game Pass is going to be everywhere. People got to really understand that. That's that, and eventually, you've heard it here first. Of what the hell? I was going to save this one. They're going to start putting movies on Game Pass. So everybody knows they're going to eventually start putting movies on Game Pass.
That's not a shock to me because Microsoft leaves no stone unturned for $1. You know, to use the words of Mike Tyson, shit, Phil Spencer might kill his own mother for $1.
Yeah, well, the Halo movie TV show that they're talking about doing, they're in early stages of shooting right now. Expect that to come to Game Pass. That's the beginning. That's your test, and then you can. And then if that does well, let's just say it does well. You know, it gets a lot of downloads. People watch it. It starts its own kind of fan base, stuff like that. Then you'll start seeing Microsoft move more into producing movies based on games. They're going to start doing it, you know. So that's part of their long-term plan. But
I think movies will give Game Pass a better chance of being successful, having access to movies on there, since a lot of people have already using their Xboxes for Netflix and Hulu. So adding movies to Game Pass, you know, especially if you offering, you know, you keep throwing these deals at people for $1 a month or something like that. I hate to admit it, you know, it might flourish. You know, I mean,
everybody's doing it. You know, even Disney. Why do you think they're doing all these Star Wars TV shows? They're going to go right. You know, they're going to give Loki his own TV show. They're going to give Scarlet Witch her own TV show. They just announced a Winter Soldier and a Falcon team up TV show. So all
Loki,
that.
I would definitely check.
Loki is going to be on regular television because it says it's going to be on TV.
Yeah, sure.
But I have to.
It's Tom Hiddleston. It's
not.
Yeah, it ain't. You know, so it's going to be a prequel. Everybody knows what happens to Loki. Now, so they may change the timeline and Loki come back. No, he can't come back. He died before the snap. But at the end of the day, you're going to see it, you know, and people just mark my words. People are like, well, why would they do that when they can just download movies digitally? Yes, but Microsoft doesn't get that big of a bite. They got to pay a licensing fee to put whatever movie, whether it be whatever movie you download digitally, Microsoft's paying for you to have access to that. This way, they control their own content. And that's what this is all about. And as Sony, you could very well see the same thing. Sony has their own studios that makes movies. They, in theory, can say, you know what? We're going to pull all our movies off of Netflix, and we're going to put them on the PlayStation 5 only. So
you know what? It's funny when you say that, because if you really think about it, they already have stuff like that on Sony. They already have their own little section. I mean, they were trying to do their own little TV shows. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony does that.
It very well could happen. You know, Crackle is their property, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think I've heard you talk about that before, Craig. The Disney's pulling all their stuff from Netflix so they can get ready to start their own streaming service.
Yeah, they've announced that. Yeah, that's public news. People can go and watch. You know, look at that press release. Yeah, they are. Now they've been fair to Netflix. Civil War is on was on Netflix. Black Panther has been on Netflix since August. Let's see what else is on there. Doctor Strange is on Netflix now. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 is there now. I mean, so it's not like they've not done a good Disney. You know, Star Wars Rogue One is on there. Star Wars The Last Jedi is on there. So it's not like Disney's been fair. Honestly, they've been fair, you know, and so that's all. And they own ABC. So they own part of Hulu. People don't realize that when Disney bought when Disney bought Fox, they bought a lot of their shares in Hulu as well. So but everybody can just I may do a podcast on that one day, maybe Saturday. Mm-hmm. But guys, I'm going to get on off here. Vieira, I appreciate you jumping on, being a good sport and jumping on, and I certainly hope you're safe out there in California.
I will admit to you guys, I have a asthma issues, so it's been like really crazy for me.
Yeah, it looks crazy on TV. I'm like, my God,
we're not really completely on fire. We're just up north. We're just very smoky. And not too long ago, the families, like 90%, 95% of the area, and over there by Paradise, over there by Chico, is completely destroyed.
Yeah, they said it's gone. Yeah, I mean,
95%. There's still houses there, but majority of the place is gone. It looks like Fallout, literally. But it really does. No, I am not kidding you. If you look at the pictures, they show recordings. It looks horrifying. So imagine California was also blamed for some strange reason about our fires, like why we can't control our fires. That's not our problem. The environment is really damaging right now.
Yeah.
So
it's a brush fire. It's not a forest fire like our POTUS was talking about the other day. But yeah, he got it going on. Like I said, he went raw with a porn star. So I give him a little slack, because I guess like King Thrash said, he must have liked her titty physics as King Thrash.
But he's crazy because he blamed us and stuff. Yeah. And not only though he's coming over to the area that's damaged. I'm just like, you know what? They don't need you. They just need help. Looking for a place to live, because it's not only that they're struggling for a place to live at this point, and it's hard and it's too expensive in California. Well, the area I live is way expensive, so for them to looking for an apartment is just going to take more time. So I'm hoping everything gets resolved. So yeah,
me too. Lincoln, thanks for jumping on from the Motown City, Detroit. Mr. Lincoln Clay, let's appreciate your brother. And we're about to get on up out of here. My voice is about gone, so you all can tell. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head on back to Wakanda.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you jumping on. And jump on anytime. Like I said, Six said I could use the PPP thingy, so I'll be dropping more links in there.
PPP.
I'll probably drop one if my voice is up to it. My voice is up to it. I may do a Close Encounters of the Third Kind walkthrough tomorrow, and just kind of a walkthrough. People have asked me some questions about it. I got like 8 questions, so I may do a walkthrough.
Yeah.
So, but all right then. Let's see if my voice holds up.
All right, everybody. This is your boy Lincoln Clay. Thanks for tuning in to the PORCHLyTe podcast. And I appreciate it. Being here was an honor. And I will holler at y'all later.
All right. Thanks y'all for coming on. And the porch light's on, so that means my mom says I got to come into the house. So that is the end of it.
Oh, God.
Thanks for joining me. Got to be like 40 people here. Hit that like button. Go ahead and I'll drop links for everybody's channel. So everybody, probably I have to do it tomorrow because I've already started. But all right, guys, take it easy. Peace.